15th anniversary special, and we are here with Crash Team Racing. And we've got Hypnoshark again. How are you doing?
Doing good, yeah. Just did the co-commentary for CTTR and felt really good about it. So hopefully this can match it. We'll see. But before I get into it, I guess I should run down what this game is. This is Crash Team Racing for the PS1. I'm going to be playing on a PS2 because of fast disk speed, where the loading times will be a little bit quicker. But yeah, besides that, I'll talk about this game more when I get into it. So on that note, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so the story for this game is, I mean, it's really just heart-throbbing. Basically, there's a funny green man, just like in CTTR, but this time he's an alien, called Nitrous Oxide, and he is going to turn the world into a concrete parking lot unless we win 16 races, beat 4 bosses, and then beat him in the final showdown. So that's our plan. We're going to try and do that. The first race is Crash Cove. This is the first track in the run. This is actually a perfect track to explain some of the techniques I will be doing. The first one, worth mentioning, is the drifting and mini turbo system. It's technically in the game called a power slide, but I'll be referring to it as drifting, as it's basically the same thing. Whilst drifting, the gauge in the bottom right will slowly go from green to red, and the further you hit it in the red, not only more speed you get, but also, more importantly, more reserves you get. This is going to be very important throughout the run. What reserves are is it's a massive tug of war in the game where every frame that you boost, your reserves go up, and every frame you're not boosting in some way, whether that be from drifting or from jumping from a great height and landing and getting a landing boost, your reserves are going down. And what your reserves do, this is all very complex, but I'm sure it makes sense, is that your reserves grant you the power to keep the speed you currently have. As you probably noted during this level, I was able to keep the speed from the turbo pad at the end of that lap the entire race. That's because I kept my reserves high. So that's a very, very good showcase of the main technique that will be used in this game all over the place, reserves. The second track, after we skip the Skooka hint real quick, lovely, is Ruse Tubes. And Ruse Tubes, named after the boss character of this world, Ripperoo, who we'll be facing later on this track. So you'll see this track twice, so in case anything goes under the radar, I'll be sure to mention it in the rerun. Ruse Tubes is a perfect level to showcase the other very important tech, which is froggying, or aka the art of holding L1 and mashing R1 after going down a downhill like this. I can maintain the speed of the downhill by executing a froggy, and I was able to keep it all the way to there and then do the off-road shortcut at the end of the race. That was a very, very good lap 1. Again, another froggy down a downhill. Basically, at the end of any downhill, you'll probably see me bust out this technique. It's very, very good for maintaining speed. It's used a lot in this level and the level following this one. Let's see if I can get this shortcut again. Very nice. The off-road will slow you down eventually, but if I land really low to the ground and get an SG, and SG is another thing that I will explain after this track. Again, there's a metric ton of techniques in this game that I will get to. But one at a time, try not to overwhelm. I went to split there. This is a marathon run, Sam, behave. Yeah. What an SG is, or a speed ghost. Basically what that is the way you're able to go off an uneven piece of terrain. So something that's not flat. It can literally be anything in the game. A wall, like a hill, anything, even just like barely a slope in the ground, anything. And if you land on it in the correct way, the game will push you off of it. It can even be a bit of land going uphill. You can get uphill SGs, which is very interesting and something that I'll try to show off on this track, which is Mystery Caves, the third track in the game. This is also a good track to showcase the importance of Wumper as I get this SG and convert it into a froggy down this downhill. What Wumper does is every one Wumper you get speeds up your car by about 0.18%, around there somewhere. And every Wumper speeds you up except the 10th Wumper that only makes your items better. So 9 and 10 Wumper for the purposes of going fast are essentially the same thing. So that is another thing in this game. But yeah, to explain SGs and to try and showcase the power of a uphill SG, I will try to jump off these 3 ramps in a certain way and get propelled forward by them. I didn't do it there, unfortunately. Basically, I want to jump at the base of the ramp and time it so that I get another jump off of the very, very tip of the ramp, and that should send me flying if I execute it correctly. Well, this is just one example of a speed ghost. There are so many variations of this technique that you will see throughout the run. I can't possibly name them all because there are so many. I will try my best to point it out when it does happen. There'll be some that are more obvious than others, but yeah. Again, not quite. There was one. That was nice. And again, that was nice. This is also an SG here. I try and double jump into that hill and get propelled forward. Didn't quite get it there, but not bad. 39, 37, 37 laps is pretty normal. Not bad at all. Okay, very nice. Okay, so 3 tracks down, 1 more to go in this world, and then a boss fight at the end of it. This next track is easily the hardest in this world. It's kind of a gatekeeper of runs up to this point. It's not something you should be resetting on a lot, especially if you're doing a trick that I'm doing in about 7 minutes or so, but well, we'll get to that. But yeah, for now, Sewer Speedway, the 4th track in the game. But this is actually a lot of people's favorite track that play this game. A lot of people do love this track. So yeah, in the speedrun, it's quite something because this is the first level that really introduces the idea of cycles into the run. These barrels that you're going to see after the shortcut, these barrels are on a cycle that starts as soon as you load into the level. So they are consistent and you can, you know, manipulate them and know where they're going to be. So you should be able to avoid them at all times. This is a great example of a wall SG. I'm going to try and go off the wall and get a bunch of speed from it. I didn't quite get the best one there. I'll try and get a better example in the laps to come, but that is still not bad. But yeah, basically any uneven surface, I can get a speed ghost from it, which propels me forward. So this barrel should be, yep, and this barrel should be on the left side, about to come right. Yep, so easily avoid that one. And see if I can get a good SG this time. There we go, there it is. And then I convert that into a froggy and go absolutely flying. A 32 lap is optimal there. That is excellent. Very, very good lap. Very fast. Let's see if we can get the shortcut one final time. Very good. The intended shortcut is to actually keep on that path, but it's actually faster to just jump off to the right, bail out to the right side, and just do it this way. But I avoided all the barrels, which is nice. One more SG would be lovely. Very good. That is easily the best. Oh my, another 32 lap, 32.99. That is definitely the best track of the run so far. That went very well. That was very, very good. Very nice. Okay. First boss of the run. Ripperoo. The only real change in the boss races compared to normal races is the fact that the AI will place an item infinitely out behind them, which can be a real problem for casual runners. However, in this, it's not really that big of a deal, because you're a speedrunner, you should be ahead of them. Also, there's a gimmick that's worth mentioning. I'm actually going to start placing these items behind me here, because what that's going to do is it's going to mean that, there we go, that the items disappear actually immediately. Because there's a gimmick in the boss races of this game where, for whatever reason it may be, the items disappear the lap that, like, after they're placed. And that doesn't just go for the boss items. That is also your items. The reason being, I suppose, is because the PS1 probably couldn't handle Ripperoo placing 60 TNTs and them all staying there. So they had to disappear at some point to make way for new ones. But you can actually see them disappearing in front of me now. You can see them exploding. There they are. But what that means is, because your items also disappear at the same rate, it means that I can kind of post items behind me and farm for good items, which is pretty useful. Also, something hilarious, my headphones are running out of battery, so I'm just going to turn them off. Don't worry, it's not connected to my mic, it's fine, the mic is right there. So yeah. Okay. We're all good. That's really funny. Okay, let's keep it going. Alright, on to the second world. We have a key. Uka was going to tell us what that was about, but no need. Well, I can't believe that the tech guys in the Discord could literally badmouth me now, and I can't do anything to stop them. That's so rough. That's so brutal. Man, they could say anything about me. Oh, man.
Nope, nobody clip this and let them know what we're saying.
Tragic. Absolutely tragic. Incredible. Alright, Tiger Temple, the next track. We made our way to the second hub world of the game here. And here we go. Alright, this is the first track of 3 that is gonna involve a shortcut dependent on RNG. I need an item from this box that I can throw forward. And I got a TNT, which I cannot. The 2 items I cannot throw forward are a TNT and a boost item, because boost items are obviously to be used on Dingo, not on other races. A bomb is something I can throw forward. That is perfect. I can also throw forward a shield item and a potion. There are also, missiles and stuff like that, but I can't get them in first. These are the only 5 items I can get. Bomb, boost item, TNT, potion, and shield are the only 5 I can get. So, but this is useful. I'm able to bomb this wall right here and get another box and a potion. I will take 2 out of 3. That is not terrible RNG. I actually had a session today on my stream where I got like 4 or 5 runs in a row that all got 1 out of 3. It wasn't exactly ideal. It was not exactly ideal, let's just say that. So could have been worse. We'll absolutely take 2 out of 3 here. Okay, we are 1 track away from something insane. There is a track coming up called Papu's Pyramid where there is a shortcut for only I have ever gotten in a speedrun. And there's a good reason for that. It's because I lack the perfect amount of brain cells to think it's a good idea to go for it. So I decide to go for it in runs. No one else does, because they're all smarter than me and cleverer than me. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it is not marathon safe. However, I have gone for this in a marathon once, and I am 1 for 1. Some of you may remember January 2022, the GDQ. I was there. I did a tech called the Single Tiziano and lost my mind. Since then, it is actually standard for me to go for 2 Tizianos in the same visit. So I will be going for double Tiziano this run, and I do have a world record that gets triple. However, I've decided to remove that from the current run, or the current runs that I go for my own sanity. But we'll see how it goes this run. Coco Park, there's not too much to talk about here. There are a couple of SGs on the undulating surfaces, such as this one, that you can get, and on the grass shortcut here. Grass can't really slow you down too much as long as you hop in the right places to stay off the grass. Also, getting an SG in the off-road will override all slowdown, so if I get an SG here off of this very small slope, I didn't quite get it, but still definitely worth going across the grass for. That's a good SG. I'm able to froggy that out very nicely. I just hit the split key again. I'm stupid. Here we go. It's Tiziano time. This is the biggest run killer in the run. There is another trick probably about 15 minutes or so into the future, but for now, this is it. This is where all runs go to die. And yeah, it is pretty silly to go for this in a marathon, but why not? First thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to grind for a mask. This is a 13.5% chance, and then I'm going to want to land in a very, very small place. I got a clock item, that is no good. I got the mask. Okay, wait for AI to clear out, and then let's go. Here we go. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Go for double. Go for double. Oh my goodness. 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 Oh. Oh my goodness. Well, this is world record pace, lads. This is world record pace. Luckily that you do get to play this track again, and in boss races, you can't get masks, so I will explain the rest of that track when we get there. I am shaking. This is world record pace, guys. Yeah, I'm in disarray. Okay, Sam, you've got a couple more tracks to commentate. Let's keep it together. Dingo Canyon is the next track in this run. Okay. Right. Just for context, I haven't hit that trick with good RNG in about a week and a half, and I just hit it at GDQ. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So. Dingo Canyon. There are some opportunities for speed ghosts here. Okay, I'll quickly explain what Tiziano is, as this track, besides having a few SGs, is quite similar to Mystery Caves and Ruse Tubes in Hub 1, and you can see the techniques that I'm doing. They've been explained. I will explain them again later in the run, I'm sure, but for now, let me talk about what I just did in Papoose, because I think that requires some explanation. Basically, in 2017 or 18, that shortcut was discovered. Meanwhile, that was the most insane SG I've seen in quite some time. This run is world record pace. Yeah, so in 2018, there was a trick discovered for time trials by a guy called Tiziano, and in the time trial community in this game is, what's the word? Typical, I suppose. Traditional is the word I'm looking for, to name the shortcut after the guy who found it. So Tiziano was the name. However, it was implemented into speedruns. Red Hot BR found the initial setup with the mask that you just saw me do. Yeah, that was implemented by me, and again, only me, because it's really, really hard. I cannot stress enough how difficult that is. And to do it twice in a marathon run is absolutely ridiculous. You need to go off the wall after getting a mask and take a really, really precise line, jump off the wall and land in a very specific section. Too far left, you get respawned and the lap doesn't count. Land too short, which is the normal way of failing it because you don't have the speed to make it usually, because it's really hard to get that speed and time the jump right. And keep your balance on the wall that has incredibly sketchy physics. As you'll see here, actually, and you get respawned. Land too far right, and you don't respawn, but the lap doesn't count. Land just perfect, and you get the lap count like that. So that's what happened there twice in a row. I cannot get over this. Okay. The normal way that everyone else is doing Papu's Pyramid, which is the way you should do it if you do possess brain cells, unlike me, is this. Basically, you have this grass shortcut here. You can get a double jump SG off of it. You then combine two intended shortcuts, that one off the podium and that one off the wall, and combine it with this unintended shortcut off that wall there, which we also used for Tiziano, funnily enough. This is the common way of doing Papu's Pyramid, and the reason why you can't do Tiziano in the boss fight is because in boss races you cannot get masks. It's actually not a thing you can do. Again, intended shortcut, unintended wall shortcut here. The wall is not supposed to be driven on, but we do it anyway. And yeah, this is absolutely world record pace. Like, I mean, I can't see a timer right now, but safe to say, very, very, very safe to say. There are so many run killers left in the run. I mean, so many. But yeah, there are so many. But to get off to the start in a marathon run is surreal, let's just say. We have two keys now after being Papu and Ripperoo, which opens the next world. The next world is the main problem area. This used to be the second hardest hub in the game until two techs were introduced. One was discovered and one was introduced and converted from time trials. It was seen as time trial safe but not speedrun safe until probably 2020. So this hub is easily the hardest hub in the game now. However, that doesn't mean that the last hub got any easier. It just means this one got harder. First track is Blizzard Bluff. This is a relatively unchanged track in the meta of this game. You have the lake shortcut and more difficulty with the rail shortcut right here. Very good. This track is incredibly short but incredibly volatile. It's one of those tracks where you can practice it for 10,000 hours and hit the tricks 10,000 times and then get into a run and suddenly your game gets patched. And yeah, that is pretty common. Nice lake shortcut there. See if we can get the double jump over the rail. Just like that. Very, very good. Here we go. Nice SG. Off that downhill right there. Again, I should really, really bring up, in case you weren't here for the start of the run, the reason why I'm able to keep my speed like this is because of a system called reserves. The more mini turbos I do and the more times I boost, the more time I have to keep the speed that I currently have. It kind of refreshes the time that I can keep the speed for. And so doing that forever keeps the speed forever. So, and if I stop boosting, I will eventually run out. A Hub 3 and 4 specific tech to this game is simply called pauses. After being a race, you've probably heard it by now, Uka Uka will say, congratulations, you win a trophy. The thing is that by mashing start when he's not going to give a hint, aka in Hub 3 and Hub 4, not in Hub 1 and Hub 2 in this game, you could actually hit a frame with the start button by just mashing and praying. And if you get lucky, you pause, unpause, and it skips the dialogue. Saves about 2 to 2.5 seconds every time you get one. You have 6 opportunities to get one. And I haven't been too lucky with them thus far, 0 for 1, but we'll see what we can do. Dragon Mines. This track you will see twice, so that's why I was discussing the pause tech during it. I will revisit this track and I will explain what's going on. But the minecarts are the main problem with this track here. The problem with the minecarts is that if you go really, really fast, you can make lap 3 ahead of one of them. But if you mess up slightly, you might be like perfectly in line to get hit by one of them. Which I might be, but I might beat it. We'll see. Let's have a look. I beat it. Nice. You saw it coming into the screen just there. I have a technique to explain that is new to this run and was introduced in that level just there, and it's called U-turning. I just did one as I crossed the line, actually. What U-turning is if I hit down, a direction, and square, I can turn incredibly sharply regardless of how bad my character's turning stat is. And Dingo, having all speed, barely any acceleration, and no turning, U-turning is incredibly useful. The only problem with U-turning is that it sacrifices all your reserves. The moment you tap square, even for a moment, all your reserves are gone immediately. However, depending on the scenario, that can be still useful, depending on, as I say, the scenario. Polar Pass. This track has a trick called the boomerang, which I'm going for right now. Let's see if I get it. I will explain after. Nice. Basically, what I do is I do one hop and then a U-turn, barely to the right, and then I buffer another hop by basically just mashing R1. And if I have the right line, I will get a jump off the wall and I am able to skip over that lake. Saves about 6 seconds every time you do it. There is an easier backup strat, which most people you will see do. The backup strat, or the easier strat, whatever you want to call it, loses about 2.5 to the boomerang, which is what we call this shortcut. But it is easier and it is way less risky. Let's go. That height. Yeah, this is world record pace. Like, I'm going to keep reiterating that fact. Like, yeah, this is the, yeah. So, yeah, that's something. Let's see if we can make it lap 3 here. I haven't been calling out the SGs, I just got one right there, but again, you probably understand by now that any kind of surface that isn't flat, I am trying to hop off and land on the downslope of it and get a nice little speed ghost out of it, which propels me forward. Final lap, here we go. Boomerang. What a shame. Unlucky. Barely too tight, so I didn't jump off the wall. This is the backup strat right here. Lovely. Good stuff. The backup strat, as I say, is way easier because you kind of have time to align and you're going against the wall rather than having to like U-turn and like turn into the wall at a really awkward angle. So it's way easier because of that. But yeah, 2 out of 3 boomerang. Pretty damn good. Gonna get a 2:08 in-game time on this race. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. This is the main run killer. All top level runners go for this. Nice pause. I skipped the Uka dialogue as you just saw. Saved about 2 seconds there. Okay. This is the final trick that requires me to get a certain item. I need a nitro, which means I need a TNT and 10 Wumpa. The reason why this is important is because I'm going to set the nitro against a wall, and then I'm going to reverse, line up with the nitro, and try and propel myself over a wall. The net swing of this skip is 45 seconds a try. You get 2 attempts. World record is obviously 2 out of 2 because, I mean, you can't not save 45 seconds and still get world record. It's not going to happen. So, I'm going to need a nitro from you, game, if you please. This is the main run killer that everyone goes for. No one else goes for Tiziano. Latsu, a runner of this game who is currently 2nd place on the leaderboard, is starting to go for it, I believe. This is unbelievable RNG. By the way, to not get a nitro in the first 7 boxes of this level is a 3% chance. Please. Oh, thank God. Okay, here we go. We set it against the wall, and let's see if I get it. That's one! Oh my goodness. If I get one more, it's world record pace, by the way. Just a heads up. This is, without a doubt, the best marathon time. It's going to be easily the best marathon time by quite some distance. If I get one more... My God. Okay, bad RNG. Every item I don't get it now loses a little bit. What a shame. Okay, fourth try. That loses about 9 seconds. Not the worst. It's not the best nitro setup. It's a little bit too far right. We'll see if it works, though. What a shame. Unlucky. Unlucky, dude. Wow, man. I'll tell you what. If you told me I was going to get 1 out of 2 TA and double Tiziano at the start of this run, I would have told you you were insane. Yeah, so... For context, world record is 48.28 by me. Second place is 49.35 by Lazzi. And getting a 49 is absolutely unbelievable. Getting a 49 is incredible in this game. To get one in a marathon, that would be something. That would be just ridiculous. I think the best ever marathon time is a 50:41, I believe. This is easily on pace to beat that. It's not even close, because double tizzy is disgusting, and I can't believe I got that still. But yeah, okay, not bad at all. Okay, the third boss of this game, Komodo Joe. If you played Crash Bandicoot 2, you may recognize this character. This guy is one of the 2 Komodo bros. They left Komodo Mo out of this game, I imagine because of just I don't know, actually, just not being able to fit him in the game, whatever it may have been. But Komodo Joe posts nitros behind him, and the nitros are actually going to be a significant problem. There are about 5 or 6 variations of Komodo Joe's nitros that he can do, maybe more. I've definitely memorized 5 or 6 of them. He can place a nitro right there. I'm very happy he didn't. I didn't get that variation. That's very good. I will explain, rather than explaining Komodo Joe's nitros, because they only really impact lap 3. I will take lap 2 to explain the U-turn tech. So basically what it is, after this SG from down this hill here. Very good. That's nice. That's lovely. The U-turn tech, where I hit down, right, and square, and I'm also going to combine that with a froggy, and it means I can get in this minecart shortcut and get basically, we call that the quad jump, where you get 4 jumps in the minecart shortcut, and basically it like skips the off-road portion, because that minecart shortcut is actually off-road. It doesn't look it because we're constantly hopping. That nitro is scary. It doesn't look like it because we're constantly hopping, but again, U-turn, good quad jump, very nice, lovely. Besides getting crushed by the minecart, that wasn't bad. Especially the lap 3 wasn't bad. Okay, no nitro there, very good. Very nice. Okay. Very, very good indeed. Okay. On to the last world of the run. The last hub, whatever you wish to call it. This is Citadel City. This probably has the most iconic tracks, I would say. In probably just crash racing history, because, you know, I don't think any tracks are more iconic than Engine Labs, Cortex Castle, Hot Air Skyway, and Oxide Station. I think these tracks are very, very well known and revered, so hopefully I can give a good showcase for them. The first track is Engine Labs. This is actually the hub world that is going to demonstrate a new technique. A new tech, if you will. It is basically only here because only certain ramps in the game give you it. And they can only be found in the last warp in the game. Specifically, they can only be found in the speedrun in Engine Labs and Cortex Castle. Basically, I am not going to jump off this ramp. It is a rarity, but I'm not going to jump. And as you can see, I'm going really fast now. If you didn't quite catch it, it will become a lot more apparent in about 20 seconds time. That is a USF ramp, or a Ultimate Sacred Fire ramp. And basically, your reserves get converted into speed here. So the amount of reserves I've kept gets converted into this, and the moment that I either boost or my reserves run out, I will lose speed. I cannot boost in this state. If I do boost like that, it runs out. However, I was able to froggy and maintain the speed. So, and then that of course links back to here. And the whole track of Engine Labs is built around this tech. The whole track. If you... Nice AI. I have lapped an AI. How is that AI that far behind? Do you see the minimap in the bottom right? I have already lapped. Is that engine? No, that's not engine. That's Pura. Oh my... Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I get reserves for the entirety of the race. And then I keep it to here. I lose it here, but I froggy, because what froggying does is it maintains the speed you currently have, regardless of reserves. And then... Oh, unlucky. The USF barely ran out because I didn't have too many reserves there. Unfortunate, but still good. Honestly, not the best Engine Labs in the world, but it'll get the job done. Engine Labs is definitely the easiest track in Hub 4 by quite some distance. But, you shouldn't really be messing this up, ideally. Especially as there is a lot bigger fish to fry in this hub world. As you can see, the speed is so strong that you can just jump over holes, no problem. Very good. Very good. Not bad at all. It wasn't the best I've ever done, but certainly not the worst. I'm going to go for another pause here. We'll see if we get it.
Congratulations!
Nice. Good stuff. That is 2 for 4, I believe, on pauses. Very, very good. Next track is Cortex Castle. Cortex Castle is, I would say, probably the most technical track, especially with Dingo, because of Dingo's lack of turning compared to the other characters. It becomes quite difficult to deal with the 90-degree turns. I would also say it's the most difficult track in the game without an unintended shortcut. This track is just all technique. It's very, very difficult. There's not many SGs because the track is so flat. As you can see here, for instance, it's very, very flat. There's nowhere to get an SG off of. And obviously loads of 90-degree turns for Dingo and Tiny, who are the 2 optimal characters in the game to deal with. It's very tough. But again, your reserves get converted into a USF off this big ramp. And I will froggy this out before my reserves die to make sure I keep the speed even beyond my reserves dying. Very nice. Good stuff. This little portion here, the first 10 seconds of the lap, are by far the hardest part of this track. The reason being is because you just finished a USF, so your reserves are really low, because of course, you're not allowed to boost during the time you have a USF, or it'll instantly end. So your reserves are really low, and you need to keep them round some of the hardest turns for Dingo to navigate in the entire game. So it's very, very common to mess that part up. I will try and drift inside the spider without touching the wall. That is very nice. 41.25 lap is very, very good. Yeah, this part here is very, very tough because you need to not hit the walls whilst also maintaining reserves, and that was done very nicely. I'm very, very happy with that. That was very good. Yeah, lovely. Love that. This has been excellent. It's been absolutely fantastic. Jump over that hole. Jump over this hole. Perfect. And I have all the reserves in the world needed to carry me over the line here. Lovely. And that got a pause too. So that was an excellent Cortex Castle all in all. If I was running splits, that would be very close to a gold. That was lovely. Okay, this is where the gauntlet really starts to show. At this point in the run, if you are on a run, if for instance I'd gotten 2 out of 2 Tiny Arena, hands sweaty, knees weak, mom spaghetti at this point, and these were before Tiny Arena and Polar Pass Boomerang and Tiziano was implemented into the run. This was probably the hardest track in the game, as well as the next track in the game being the hardest track. So just because they have gotten harder doesn't mean this has gotten any easier. In fact, this has gotten harder. I will explain the shortcut that I just did next lap. This is a very simple one. You just jump over the wall. Very, very nice. This hairpin saves about 1 second per lap, and if you fail it, it loses 4. It's very low risk, low reward, but it's been implemented semi-recently in the last year and a half. This turn right here, the reason why you have to drive so far up the track just to turn around and do a shortcut is because the way this game loads the track in front of you, nice SG when landing, that's gorgeous. The way you, nice, didn't die, very good. The way you are able to do that shortcut and the way the game loads the track in front of you is basically, unlucky, basically every time you drive forward, but this is layman's terms, this isn't exactly correct, but basically, every time you drive forward an inch, 10 seconds into the future, an inch loads. And if I was to do the shortcut without driving this far up, the track would not be loaded beneath me. However, because I did drive that far up, the track beneath me is barely loaded. If I drove any further forward when landing there, Uka would have picked me up and said, no, you don't get to do that, because the track hasn't loaded. However, I barely load enough track, and I'm able to do that shortcut. This will also be recognizable in Oxide Station, which is the next track coming up. Very good. That lap 3 was especially good. That felt nice. So, Oxide Station. We're into the final 3 tracks now. Nice pause. 3 for 6 on pauses. You know, the average is about 1 out of 6, 2 out of 6. So, man, let me tell you, if this run got 2 out of 2 TA, man. Okay, so, yeah, but this really could have been Whir if that happened. Wow. Right, Oxide Station. Like I just said about the track's loading and how it does its thing, we are gonna get on this rail and drop down, and then drive back up the spiral. That is to load the next section that we are gonna jump to. We're gonna jump back on the rail, and we're gonna drop down to here, and then we're gonna combine this into the easier shortcut, which is jumping down to the left to here. That last shortcut where you jump down to the left is so easy that I do recommend you do it before even doing your first ever speedrun of this game. It makes the final boss very easy, because spoilers, the final boss is on this track. It's called Oxide Station, and you face nitrous oxide here. Who would have thunk it? But yeah, it makes the final boss very, very easy, and yeah, it's good. That was very nice. Again, loading parts of the track in front. I'm going to go for the time trial shortcut, which is drifting off this rail and then jumping way wide and giving myself tons of room. That is the optimal shortcut. That is probably going to be a high 38, low 39, I want to say. I mean, very, very good. Let's see what lap time this is. High 38 is optimal. Oh, hello. Oh my, okay. Alright, man. Alright, man. Look out for AI here. They might ram into you if you are fast. They might hit you, because if you're a little bit slower, right there, the AI are already gone, but this has been a excellent Oxide Station, and it's going to continue that way, apparently. This isn't quite a 38, but this is a low 39. Still very, very good. But yeah, that's a nice showcase of what Oxide Station's all about. It's very, very high risk, high reward, that shortcut. But hit X, please. But yeah, that went very, very well. That was very nice. The penultimate boss of this game is Pinstripe. You all may recognize him from Crash Bandicoot 1 if you did play that game. I've got to get past him foist, as he says. And don't worry, he won't use that Tommy gun on me. That is purely cosmetic, thank goodness. The idea here is that because he is the final boss before the final boss, he will be shooting bowling bombs at me. So if you get behind Pinstripe, God help you. For casuals, this is maybe even harder than Oxide as a boss. This gave me loads of trouble as a kid, I know that for a fact. But he actually can pose a threat to the speedrun too, because if you are too fast, as in if you do everything optimally, there will be bowling bombs like on you on lap 3. You will be right behind him on lap 3, and that is terrifying. So hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully he'll be gentle. That was a terrible hairpin attempt, unlucky. That invisible wall goes up pretty high for hairpin. So yeah, pretty brutal. But that is only 4 seconds. It's, as I say, low risk, low reward. It's not entirely necessary, but, you know, you gotta go for it. It's a marathon run. You gotta swag out. Give me this. Not bad, not bad. Very good. If you're wondering, by the way, why that skip works, because you would think that you're skipping so much of the track that the track may not have loaded that much, but actually it barely does. Like, barely. I have had times where I haven't gone far enough down before bouncing into the wall and setting up the shortcut, and I've actually been respawned once I've jumped over. Like, it barely is enough. It's actually quite perfect, really, and you'd almost think it was a deliberate setup. There's the bowling bombs I was talking about from Pinstripe, but we are safe because of failing hairpin. We failed hairpin on lap 1, so as you can see on the minimap, we are ahead of him. I just tried to hit him with a red potion. I missed, damn. I'm gonna try hit him with a nitro. Please hit it. It'd be funny. For content? Ah. You can tell if an AI gets hit, by the way, when their placement on the left flashes red. There was no such thing there. Okay. On to the final boss. I cannot stress enough how thankful I am for this run being good. It is about now that I'm going to turn my headphones back on so I can hear human beings in my ear. So they can tell me what time I get. Yeah, classic headphones being low on battery at the start of the marathon run. Good job, Sam. What up, mate? You absolute bona fide moron. Okay, Oxide time. Here we go. Oxide combines all of the items that you've seen the bosses put out so far. It is pretty damn rough. He also gets a head start. I need to pay attention on what type of Oxide I got. Okay, so he's faster than me here, which means I don't have to do an alternative strat. Basically, if he's slow there, he can actually get right behind you as you go for the shortcut and ram you off course. That has cost me a world record before now, and luckily since then I have come up with a way to combat that particular variation. But he didn't do it this time, didn't need to use that variation, so that's very good. And yeah, we're in there. 2 more laps of Oxide. Time is when I cross the line. I cannot believe I'm going to say this. This might be a 49 in a marathon with marathon timing, which is 6 seconds slower than RTA. So, yeah, this is the best marathon run I've ever done of any game, not just this game. Yeah, this is insane. This is absolutely ridiculous. Another good lap. It's going to be like a mid 39, I want to say. If you are too fast, you can hit these red potions up here. They can hit you. I am not fast enough, luckily. This wasn't a 38 level lap 2 like last time. This was a 39 low. Green potions can troll you here. They are not in the way of a shortcut, thank goodness. There is a nitro down here that can be in the way. It is not. We are good. One last shortcut. Let's see if we get it. This would be the ribbon on the present. What is this run? That is... Wow, what a speedrun. That, yeah, wow. Sorry if I sound like egotistical, but I did not expect this in the slightest. Double Tizzy, 1 TA, 2 out of 3 Boomerang, good hub 4, besides 2 hairpins, I mean. And time. I dread to think what time I got, I really do. That was very good. It felt very good anyway. I'm not sure what I got, but yeah, that was insane. If someone has the time, I would like to know.
Can you hear me finally?
Wait, what was that?
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Wait, let me check.
That's a no.
It's all good. I'll check the stream real quick. 49:47 in a marathon. I just saw someone say, what's world record? World record is 48:28 by me. But this failed a tiny arena skip that loses about 45 seconds. And I also lost 10 seconds to tiny arena RNG. So if tiny arena went perfectly, this was a 48. And I've only ever had 13 of those in over 5,000 runs. So, yeah, that's like the best marathon run ever by like a minute. Like nearly a minute, I want to say. That's, yeah, above and beyond what I thought I could do. Wow.
That was a fantastic run.
Thank you, man. I am absolutely stunned. I suppose I should shout out things, right? Suppose that's the thing I should do. Okay. First of all, thank you to my streams community for allowing me to stream every day and allowing me to put time into this game and other games. Just thank you. You guys are the best. I love you all. Secondly, if you wish to find out more about the speedrun, there are tutorials on YouTube. There is also speedrun.com/CTR. That is something that you should certainly look into if you are looking to get into this. Yeah, there's also a Discord link that you can follow that is on the Crash Bandicoot series on speedrun.com if you wish to join the Crash speedrunning server. And yeah, finally, for one last shameless plug, I do stream every day at twitch.tv/Hypnoshark. I play this game, I play other games. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I hope to be back on this channel again someday. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Much appreciated.
Absolutely, and thank you so much for providing commentary and doing the run. You've been excellent all day, and that was a spectacular run, especially with amazing commentary. Despite the fact that you couldn't hear anything.
Thank you. Yeah, the headphone thing was me being absolutely dateless before the start of the run. But, that will happen. But, yeah, no, thank you for having me. It was an absolute pleasure, seriously. I really do enjoy being on this channel, and, yeah, hope to do it again someday. Thank you.
Absolutely. You've been great. With all that said, we do have one more run to go, so we are going to take a quick break while we get ready for our final run of the day, which is Crash. We'll see you all soon.